English Naturally podcast with Sarah and Michael.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Naturally. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Michael. Thanks so much for joining us today.
We are so excited about today's episode because we're going to be talking about something that literally everyone does every single day, talking about your day.
Right, and you know what's funny? I realized the other day that how was your day might be the most common question in the English language. I mean, we ask it all the time, but do we really know all the different ways to answer it naturally?
Exactly. And that's what we're here for. Today, we have a really fun scenario for you. It's called the end of day catch-up, and it takes place in a kitchen where two roommates, also named Sarah and Michael,
No relation.
they're meeting up after work to talk about their days. It's that beautiful moment when you transition from work mode to home mode, you know?
I love that moment. It's like you walk in the door, you kick off your shoes, and you just need to decompress with someone. And in English, we have so many colorful ways to describe our day, whether it was amazing, terrible, or just meh.
Meh. That's such a good word. Very informal, but perfect for describing a completely average day. Okay, so before we jump into the conversation, let's talk about the structure of these end-of-day chats, because they actually follow a pretty predictable pattern.
Yes. So first you have the opening question. How was your day? Or some variation of that. Then you give what I call the headline, a quick general impression like it was good or it was exhausting. And then if the other person is interested, you dive into the details.
Right. The details are where it gets interesting. You might talk about specific meetings, problems you dealt with, or that amazing sandwich you had for lunch.
Hey, never underestimate the power of a good sandwich to make your day. But seriously, one thing our listeners should know is that in American and British culture, when someone asks how was your day, they usually want a real answer if you're close to them, like a roommate, family member, or good friend. It's not just a formality.
That's such an important cultural point, Michael. In some cultures, you might just say, fine, and move on. But in English-speaking countries, especially at home, people actually want to hear about your day. It's a bonding thing.
Exactly. Now, with that in mind, let's listen to our conversation between roommate Sarah and roommate Michael. As we listen, pay attention to how they ask about the day, how they summarize their day, and how they describe specific events. Ready?
Let's do it.
Oh, hey, I didn't know if you'd be home yet.
Hey! Yeah, I just got in about 10 minutes ago. I'm making some tea. Want some?
That sounds perfect, actually. Thanks.
So, how was your day?
It was a long day. Like, really long.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, you know that presentation I was stressing about this morning?
Yeah, the one with all the new clients?
That's the one. So the morning actually went pretty well. I got off to a slow start because I couldn't find the right files on my computer, but once I found them, I managed to pull the slides together.
Okay, so the presentation itself went well?
The presentation was fine, actually. The client seemed pretty engaged, asked good questions. The highlight of my day was when one of them said they were really impressed with our approach.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but here's where it went downhill. Right after the meeting, I was swamped with emails. I mean, absolutely buried. And then I was in back-to-back meetings all afternoon. Literally no break between them.
Ugh, that's the worst.
I know. And the worst part was when my computer crashed right in the middle of the last meeting. I had to restart everything while everyone just sat there waiting. So embarrassing.
Oh no, that's terrible timing.
Yeah, so by the time I finished everything, it was already after 6. The afternoon just really dragged on, you know? And then the commute home was a nightmare. There was construction on Main Street, so I had to take the long way around.
Sounds like you're completely wiped out.
I'm exhausted. I'm just so glad the day is over. But hey, enough about my disaster of a day. How'd your day go?
Well, it was definitely better than yours. Actually, it was pretty good. Not too bad at all.
Yeah? What made it good?
Well, my morning was so hectic. I had to get to the office early because we had this team breakfast thing at 8. You know I'm not a morning person, so that was rough. But once I got some coffee in me, I was fine.
Coffee saves lives.
It really does. So after the breakfast, I actually had a pretty productive day. I finally managed to finish that report I've been working on for like 2 weeks.
Oh, the market analysis one?
Yes, that one. I'm feeling really good about what I accomplished. My boss even sent me a message saying she was impressed with how thorough it was.
That's awesome, Sarah. Congratulations.
Thanks. And honestly, the morning just flew by. Before I knew it, it was already lunchtime. I went out with a couple people from the design team. We tried that new Vietnamese place on 4th Street.
Oh, how was it?
So good, like really amazing pho. We spent probably an hour and a half there just talking and eating. It was nice to get out of the office.
That sounds really nice, actually.
Yeah, it was. And then the afternoon was pretty chill. I had a few emails to deal with, one quick video call with the San Francisco office, but nothing too intense. Thankfully, I was able to leave work a little early because I'd gotten in so early for that breakfast.
Lucky you. So I'm guessing you're not as drained as I am?
No, not really. I mean, I'm tired, but it was a really satisfying day, you know? I got a lot done. I had a nice lunch. I left early. Can't complain.
Well, I'm glad one of us had a good day.
Aw, I'm sorry yours was so stressful. Tomorrow will be better.
I hope so. Anyway, what's the plan for dinner? I'm starving, but I'm too tired to actually cook anything.
Same. Are you up for doing anything tonight, or should we just order in?
Order in sounds perfect. I'm so ready to just relax on the couch and watch something mindless.
That's exactly what I need to. How about we order Thai food? There's that place that delivers pretty quickly.
Thai food works for me. Can you order while I go change out of these work clothes? I just need to unwind for a bit.
Yeah, no problem. I'll get the usual.
Perfect. You're the best.
I know.
Okay, so that was our conversation. Now let's break down what just happened because there was so much great natural English in there.
There really was. And I want to start with the very beginning, the opening question. Did you notice that roommate Sarah asked, "How was your day?" That's the classic version, the one everyone learns first.
Right, and it's perfectly natural. But later in the conversation, roommate Sarah asked roommate Michael, "How'd your day go?" which is more casual. How'd is the contraction of how did, and how'd your day go is extremely common in spoken English.
Yes, and both of those are great. You could also say, "Did you have a good day?" or even just, "How was it?" if you've already been talking. The key is that all of these are genuine questions. You're really asking, not just being polite.
Now let's look at the first responses, what I called the headline earlier. When roommate Michael was asked about his day, what did he say?
He said, "Ugh, it was a long day." That ugh at the beginning tells you everything. That signals that he's tired or frustrated before he even explains why.
Exactly. And "it was a long day" is a very common way to say your day was tiring or difficult. It doesn't mean the day literally had more than 24 hours. It means it felt long because it was exhausting or stressful.
Right. Compare that to what roommate Sarah said. It was pretty good, not too bad at all. Now, not too bad is fascinating because it sounds negative, but it actually means something positive.
I love that you brought that up. Not too bad is one of those phrases that confuses learners, but native speakers say it all the time. It means good or fine. It's understated. We're not saying amazing, but we're saying better than expected or quite good.
Yes, British people especially love not too bad. If a British person says not too bad, they might mean it was actually great, but they're being modest.
That's so true. Okay, let's talk about some other opening responses. If you want to be neutral, you could say it was fine. Or, and this is a fantastic idiom, same old, same old.
Ooh, same old, same old. I love that one. It means nothing special happened, just a typical day. Everything was routine. You could also say, oh, you know, the usual.
And if your day was bad, you might say it was kind of stressful, to be honest, or even don't even ask, which is dramatic but common. Don't even ask means it was so bad that I don't even want to talk about it.
Although, ironically, when someone says don't even ask, the other person usually does ask.
That's so true. Okay, now let's get into the details, the meat of the conversation. This is where you describe specific events from your day. Let's start with the morning. Roommate Michael said, I got off to a slow start.
Yes. To get off to a slow start means your morning didn't go smoothly. Maybe you woke up late, or you felt groggy, or things just took longer than expected. The opposite would be, I got off to a good start, or I got off to a flying start, which means you were productive and energetic right away.
Great explanation. And roommate Sarah said, my morning was so hectic. Hectic is a wonderful word. It means busy, chaotic, and stressful all at once.
I use that word all the time. And she also said the morning just flew by, which means time passed very quickly because she was busy and engaged.
The opposite is what roommate Michael said. The afternoon really dragged on, meaning it felt slow and tedious. Perfect contrast.
Now, let's talk about work-specific phrases because these are super useful if you work in an office. Roommate Michael said, I was in back-to-back meetings all afternoon.
Yes, back to back means one right after another with no break in between. You'll hear this phrase a lot in American office culture. I have back-to-back meetings from 2 to 5. It means your schedule is packed. And he also said, I was swamped with emails. Swamped is such a vivid word. It means overwhelmed or buried. You're drowning in work, basically. You can be swamped with emails, swamped with projects, swamped with customers, anything that overwhelms you.
I love that word. And then roommate Sarah said, I finally managed to finish that report. The word finally there suggests it took a long time or was difficult, but she succeeded in the end. Managed to also implies it was challenging. It wasn't easy, but she did it.
Good point. Now, here's a really useful pair of phrases for highlighting the best and worst parts of your day. Roommate Michael said, the highlight of my day was when one of them said they were impressed. Highlight means the best part, the most positive moment.
And he also said the worst part was when my computer crashed. So you have the highlight for good things and the worst part for bad things. These are super useful for organizing your story. You can jump right to the most important moments. Absolutely. Now let's talk about feelings. At the end of his description, roommate Michael said, I'm exhausted. I'm just so glad the day is over. Yes. Exhausted is very common, but there are other ways to express tiredness. He also said earlier, I'm completely wiped out. Wiped out is informal and means extremely tired, like you have no energy left at all. You could say I'm drained or I'm beat.
All of those work. And for stress, you could say I'm feeling pretty stressed out or I'm so stressed. The phrase stressed out is very common in American English.
On the positive side, roommate Sarah said, I'm feeling really good about what I accomplished. This shows satisfaction and pride in her work. She also said it was a really satisfying day, which means she felt fulfilled and happy with what she did.
Love that. And finally, let's talk about the transition to evening plans. This is how you move from talking about the past, your day, to talking about the present and future, what you're going to do now.
Roommate Michael said, "Anyway, what's the plan for dinner?" That anyway is a perfect transition word. It signals that you're changing the subject from the workday to the evening.
And roommate Sarah asked, "Are you up for doing anything tonight, or should we just take it easy?" Are you up for is a great casual phrase that means, do you have the energy for, or do you feel like doing? You can say, are you up for going out? Or are you up for cooking?
Yes, and take it easy means to relax, not do anything strenuous. It's a very common phrase. You can say to someone, "Take it easy," as a way of saying goodbye. It means relax, don't stress.
And roommate Michael said, I'm so ready to just relax on the couch. I'm so ready to is a way of expressing that you really want to do something. You're eager for it. I'm so ready for the weekend, or I'm so ready for this meeting to be over.
And he also said, "I just need to unwind for a bit." Unwind is a lovely word. It means to relax and release stress. You can unwind by watching TV, taking a bath, reading a book, whatever helps you decompress. Decompress is a synonym, by the way. All great words. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to do a quick pronunciation point. Did everyone notice how we use contractions in casual speech? We say, "How'd your day go?" Not, "How did your day go?" We say, "It's been a long day," not, "It has been a long day." Yes. Contractions make you sound more natural and fluent. In formal writing, you might avoid them, but in spoken English, especially casual conversations, we use them constantly. I'm, your, didn't, couldn't, it's, that's. All of these are more natural than the full forms.
Great point. And one more thing. Did you notice all the phrasal verbs? Got off to a start.
Flew by, dragged on, swamped with, wiped out, up for.
Phrasal verbs are everywhere in English, especially in casual conversation.
They really are. And they can be tricky because the meaning isn't always obvious from the individual words. That's why listening to natural conversations like this one is so helpful. You hear these phrases in context.
Exactly. Okay, let's do a quick vocabulary review of the key words and phrases from today's episode, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, here are the key phrases for asking about someone's day. How was your day? The classic. How'd your day go? More casual. Did you have a good day? Slightly more engaged. How did that presentation go? Specific. Shows you were listening.
And here are ways to give a general impression of your day. Positive. It was pretty good, actually. Really productive, thanks. Not too bad. Remember, this means good. Neutral. It was fine. Same old, same old. Nothing special, just routine. Negative. It was a long day. It was kind of stressful, to be honest. Don't even ask. Very bad day.
Now, phrases for describing events. Morning. My morning was so hectic. Busy and chaotic. I got off to a slow start. Morning didn't go smoothly. The morning just flew by. Time passed quickly. Work or school. I was in back-to-back meetings all afternoon. One meeting right after another. I was swamped with emails. Overwhelmed with emails. I finally managed to finish that report. Completed something difficult. The highlight of my day was when... The best part. The worst part was when... My computer crashed. The worst moment. End of day. The afternoon really dragged on. Felt very slow. The commute home was a nightmare. Very bad commute. Thankfully, I was able to leave work a little early. Lucky break.
And feelings about the day. Tiredness. I'm exhausted. I'm completely wiped out. I'm so drained. Stress. I'm feeling pretty stressed out. I'm just so glad the day is over. Happiness. I'm feeling really good about what I accomplished. It was a really satisfying day.
And finally, transitioning to evening plans. Anyway, what's the plan for dinner? I'm so ready to just relax on the couch. Are you up for doing anything tonight, or should we just take it easy? I just need to unwind for a bit.
Okay, so now that we've learned all this vocabulary, let's talk about how you can actually use this in real life. Michael, what's your first tip?
My first tip is keep a daily journal in English. At the end of each day, write 3 or 4 sentences about your day using these phrases. Start with "today was," and then describe 1 or 2 events. This will make these phrases automatic for you.
That's a great tip. My tip is find a language partner or friend and make it a habit to ask each other, "How was your day?" every evening, maybe over text or a voice message. The repetition will help these phrases become natural. Plus, you'll learn how to really listen and respond to someone else's day, which is just as important as talking about your own.
Love that. Another tip? When you're watching English TV shows or movies, pay attention to these end-of-day conversations. They happen all the time. Notice how characters ask each other about their days, how they respond, what details they share. You could even pause and try to predict what they'll say next.
Yes, and here's a cultural tip. In English-speaking countries, when someone shares a bad day with you, we often respond with sympathy and validation. You might say, "Oh no, that sounds terrible," or "I'm so sorry you had to deal with that," or even just, "Ugh, that's the worst." Show that you understand how they feel.
And if someone shares a good day, celebrate with them. Say, "That's awesome," or "Good for you," or "I'm so happy for you." Don't just say, "Okay," and move on. Show genuine interest.
That's such an important point. These conversations are about connection, not just information exchange.
Exactly right.
All right. Before we go, we have a fun challenge for you. Michael, you want to explain it?
Sure. So here's your challenge. We want you to describe your day using at least 5 phrases from today's lesson. You can write it in the comments, record yourself saying it, or just practice it out loud. Try to use the natural flow we talked about: opening impression, specific details, feelings, and transition to evening.
And here's my challenge for you. Try to use one idiom or colorful phrase from today. Maybe swamped or wiped out, flew by, or same old, same old. These will make you sound much more natural and fluent.
And hey, if you want to take it a step further, find a friend or language partner and have a real conversation about your days. Practice both asking and answering.
We'd love to hear how it goes. Let us know in the comments which phrase is your favorite, or if there are any other topics you'd like us to cover.
All right, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Sarah, before we go, do you want to share one final thought?
Sure. I just want to say that talking about your day might seem simple, but it's actually one of the most important types of conversations you'll have in English. It's how you connect with people, how you build relationships, and how you transition from formal English to casual, friendly English.
So well said. And remember, everyone, fluency isn't about knowing every word in the dictionary. It's about being comfortable with everyday situations like this one. The more you practice these real-life conversations, the more natural English will feel.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every conversation is a learning opportunity.
Okay, so that's it for today's episode of English Naturally. Thank you so much for listening.
Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Bye.